course, I wouldn't necessarily call this like a grudge match. Like, I don't think you're going to look at both these teams and go, oh yeah, there's a lot of bad blood. But you have to look at this from Fnatic's perspective. They only lost to a couple of teams over at Masters.
Holy fuck.
One of them was in the grand
Are they
final.
on a radio?
The other
yeah.
was to Gen G. So I think they will want to sort of prove that, okay, this squad may have beaten us in the last tournament, but
is he casting from his iPhone?
Ended up in that trophy battle. Texture, pistol in hand, always deadly, but Kayak is going to deal with him before anything more can happen.
Yeah, he certainly wasn't falling for the decoy. That's a lot of damage delivered. Munchkin and Karen very low indeed. They'll be invading the smoke, looking to move towards Tree, clear out that space, but little do they know that wraparounds come in. Fnatic have a lot of control. They're waiting for every push. Crashies is grabbing one with the classic.
Yeah, I'll just do a small one.
It's a flawless display from that attacking side. Not that they're up against a stacked economy. We don't expect a lot from Gen G, but something would certainly be nice. And, well, at least they've got Boaster with a full magazine of the classic. That got a little bit scary.
I'm not making
I feel like there was a moment in LPS head where he went, I could help him, but I'm not going to. He genuinely just kind of went, no, I'm not swinging that. That's all you, bud. You've got this. And then didn't even hit the shots anyway. He had to be saved by Kayak, who was thankfully a little bit kinder than maybe he was, but at least adds a slight amount of additional cost to Fnatic as they'll go into what will be the bonus round. But ultimately, this is where things should get that a little bit more interesting. No operator in yet for the defensive side. They can't quite afford it.
C-Bon stream with the Demon? Don't say that because I will.
Just a little bit. Although both teams have proved to be quite
I'll let you get into my fucking bed and go to sleep.
So perhaps Gen G getting on that board early.
I was just told Myung to turn my stream off when the matches are over.
You already see Alphier and Chronicle down and out of the round.
Even consider this.
Well handled in these early fights, and I mean, what you're left with now, a little bit of aggression going in towards A main. It's opened some space for Kayak. He's pressured it, but he's caught by Munchkin. Covering all their bases here are Gen G. And although, you know, we come into this round, there are weaknesses for Fnatic.
I can watch from my bed,
like
dude.
this,
I bring my mouse, my headset, I move the microphone.
Like there were a lot of opportunities as well, where it was 1v1s, but just every single fight ended up going in the direction of Gen G. Like, I think Kayak coming back through is maybe the most surprising of the lot, just getting absolutely domed by Munchkin. And that's the fun thing about Ascent for them, is this sort of the map where obviously he still has a lot of that supportive utility, but it's kind of one of the only maps we haven't really seen him play Viper. Like that's sort of what he's been leaning into a lot recently. I think it's his most played agent by far. Picks up the KO and has that little bit more of an opportunity to be a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Munchkin going into Icebox Sunset and have a little bit more of that. I wouldn't say comfort. It's not like he's uncomfortable here on the KO. Again, that decoy going through, it won't be falling for at all. Texture's doing a great job. I mean, every time he sees that Yoru opening up, running it down, he knows that's not the real one. And he goes hunting for him, finding the opening pick here again. And Fnatic, again, there are already those weaknesses. You see Boaster come in with a stinger, but this is the round that you want to see Fnatic bounce back on. You mentioned that both teams pretty good on the attacking side. If you see Gen G run away with this early, it could be very dangerous for Fnatic. And already it's a 5v3. B2.
Yeah, it seems to be getting worse and worse. And again, a lot of these don't seem to be tradable fights. Which, against a lot of teams, for Fnatic, that would be all right, because they'd win a lot of them. But in this case, they are losing these picks every single time. None of them able to take it over the line. And wow, there is a clear amount of information for Gen G right now. I wonder if this just becomes a say,
going to bed?
Realistically, 2v5, your economy's in the bin for the next round anyway.
30 seconds left.
What are the chances that you manage to get into one of these sites, find a pick, and get a post-spawn? With 25 seconds left, almost zero.
Yeah, and if you run to the A site, like, you couldn't be foolish enough to think that they've abandoned it to go towards B main after what an orb gets tapped inside. What they have done is pushed up
10 seconds
Munchkin
left.
All the way up mid, looking for Crashies, who's just around the corner. Flashes perfectly timed, but Crashies lands the shot. The first for this squad. Paranoia put through. A smoke even going down. A desperate attempt to keep Gen G back. And although Ash pressures a little bit, I think they'll get out with both of those weapons.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to overextend. Like, that's the thing. At this point of the game, their own finances aren't exactly built to a point of no return. It's not like they've got like 3-4 buys able to come in a row. So although it would be nice to remove all those additional weapons, I think it comes down to just making sure their own economy becomes strong. And you can see it now. That one player dropping means that there's an opportunity for Texture to buy back in with the operator. And this is another conversation that's been had a lot around Gen G, is like, is this guy the best sniper in the world? I think he's definitely up there. We watched him play earlier versus Kankan. It was another one that was in the conversation, and there wasn't a conversation.
What if I went to a
lot of it did still revolve around Foxy9 having a crazy game, but when the operator was put into play, he was definitely still up the top, and he's already had... This is definitely risky, though. It's risky because he's alone, and they have a low buy. It makes me a little bit nervous, but... It doesn't overextend too much. Ooh. These first engagements have been a little bit shaky for Gen G.
Yeah, I mean, they're certainly not afraid to take some risks, that's for sure. Quick shot by Texture. This time he does get caught by the clone.
I could make
the decoy on its way, but
I'm just gonna
he's not going for that crazy
chill,
over aggression. Doesn't have the dash online anymore, so much more tempered.
All right, we'll see how this rest of this one goes. Maybe we call it after this one.
To hold down on short. You can see Fnatic are looking to pressure him. It will probably be that Yoru flash. No, in fact, the Vice one to pop to open this up. Finding a little bit of trouble in converting the kill, but they get there eventually. Now the pressure left onto that A-side holder. Charon at least able to grab the opening. A couple players low, and he's connecting shots.
Yeah, the gun's still in play, but the time really is ticking, and they still haven't been able to isolate Charon at all. In fact, he's just taken over the map. Oh, it floats him. Oh, that must have been a few HP difference from having an ace already in the tournament. It was incredibly close, but nonetheless, that was perfect from Charon. Just having that different target isolation, creating himself space.
Mr. 4K, that's Texture and Cryo, not Karen.
Tried to throw in the
but fuck it, we'll
Fury
give it
to
to him.
displace him, and he danced around it like it was nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that push, though. Alphier's running it through while Boaster's putting down his bubble full of smokes. Chronicle gets caught on low HP on short, and then, well, as you said, a bullet or two away from the ace. That's certainly not taking the wind out of his sails being denied it, though. He is a happy man. And I think Gen G off to a flying start.
Is that happy, or is that, oh, it was so close?
No. That was a smile on his face there. You take the round win like that, and you start to deny that early success for Fnatic on the attack side. You force them into attack.
That's something that
What?
They've had their moment.
Saw him.
Kayak with his ult to clear a lot of space, and you can see they're on their way towards this.
What a molly.
Maybe hinging on Alpha, finding one of these opening picks. It's been a lot of individual fights, but of course, with him being able to just TP out of here, you're not surprised to see him playing that little bit more loose. The smoke down won't deny anything for him.
What are those dates on the player cards? 210.
Will open up some opportunities.
Yeah, this is where we get to see if we are going to get the Foxy9 of earlier today under serious pressure. Paranoia has missed, but he's just managed to dodge almost everything. Still shoots the drone, but takes the man down himself as well. Kayak gone. And what was an attempt to put pressure onto Foxy9. Well, I'll take a look at his HP, bitch. I think it's at full.
He's not using that.
Not even a shot landed in return, yeah.
But it'll apply pressure.
Again, this guy's on form today. I understand trying to remove him from that B site. The paranoia being sidestepped, though, gives him such a leg up in that fight. The TP, it goes towards the spawn. It's a bold play, but I think they'll have that information. Certainly a good inkling of it. 12 seconds left. An ult committed, and the spike dropped on the floor. No movement from Gen G. No panic, and indeed, no time left for this play. Chronicle, the best he can do here is probably save that weapon. The fourth is locked in for Gen G, and this was a big buy coming in for Fnatic. Yes, Chronicle will walk away with a Vandal, but the damage is done.
Yeah, and as well, like at this stage, you do have a lot of credits for Gen G, so they can afford to take that risk to try and remove the extra gun. I think they are just getting stalled out, though. Like, they try and make a move off the back of the ultimate. You see all the nanoswarms slowing them down.
Gotta be Angel, right?
Rotation coming in from the
motherfuckers like 45 or what, dude?
They're so tunnel visioned in onto, I think it was what Ash was doing, that it almost becomes just too easy for Foxy9 and Charon at the back of the site to be able to just hold on to things. 4 and 2, extending that lead. Tour de force. Alongside that rifle. Actually, Chronicle's not far away. The Tour de Force will get absolutely nothing. That is what I talk about when I'm saying that Texture with the operator is just a terrifying force. That is one of the main dangers of this round already gone.
Yeah, one of the main dangers for Gen G, but for Fnatic, Texture still alive and lurking around. This guy is going to be difficult to deal with. He's already 7-1. The form hitting Foxy9, your solo site holder most of the time. He's there as well. For Fnatic, they need their own heroes to step up to the plate. We expect a good attack side already. It's looking like it will be 5 locked in.
He's got 5,900 credits, and he's playing with a judge. Just making sure that even if they do manage to kill him on shore, the gun they'll get as a
I'm still watching your hot ones.
Help them out too much. An uncharacteristic shot. That was the warning. But again, Fnatic are playing this time so low. They're expecting aggression. They're expecting faces, someone to go and try and give them a pick, and they're getting absolutely nothing from it. And okay, they've got past one of the demons over on the side of Gen G, but
what the fuck just happened? I looked away.
We questioned if he would keep up the form from the best of one early today.
Focus, buddy.
The fact is he has. I think it was. He had over 400 ACS, not just in total, but also in both
Another 4K?
Which is just insane.
Yeah, it's rare that you see, and it's rare you'll hear me reference a rating. It might be the first time I've ever done it, but it goes up to 2.0. My man was 2.0. I mean, he couldn't have been any better. And then again, you know, you look at that start for Texture, beautiful. You follow that up then, having Foxy9 one-up him. And sure, it was a 4K against an eco, but still, those dangers, those are the kind of rounds that Fnatic can turn in their favor a lot of the time, but not in this series, not so far. 5-2, a strong start, but a bye comes out for Fnatic. Munchkin not sticking with the judge this time. It's a different approach, leaving the short close hold. I think that was just an anti-eco, understanding that that's a space that's been under-pressured, underutilized by Fnatic so far. They expected the hit to come in. Now, it didn't in the previous, but by the looks of things, this will be the round that they tested.
It's the same play.
To pick up Texture puts a lot of pressure on this split.
Yeah, that's Boaster on 6
There's another player that makes that exact play.
Caron, always seemingly in an awkward spot, but he has shot himself.
You hit him? Oh yeah, he did.
That Yoru clone. And the Steel Garden is actually going to take his weapon away, so it's whether or not they can put the pressure onto him. The thing is, he'll probably just sit this out. It's not like Boaster can really take that fight to try and clear him, so they're going to have a bit of an awkward position for Fnatic that they need to deal with this man from the back, and they also need to clear underneath the Valk. That's a quick double. Now Caron bounces, and this is all falling apart.
So well done.
Boaster was tagged at the beginning of this round. They get the site, but they just don't clear the positions properly.
Wow,
that
nice
ends up being all too easy.
That was so well done by Gen G. Damn.
What a start to this first half.
Really, the adversity they just overcame there, losing Texture early, Caron isolated, hit by the Vysolt, forced out of the site as well. And that's not great for Boaster on 6 HP. Can't really take that fight without trolling. But that means they isolated Munchkin. They had him on his own. And still, he's able to find success on that backside, opens up the window for Caron. Still, but they for Boaster on 6 HP. Can't really take that fight without trolling. But that means they isolated Munchkin. They had him on his own. And still, he's able to find success on that backside, opens up the window for Caron to come back in and take that fight. That is a round that looked to be, after the opening pick, very heavily favored to Fnatic. They can't get it across the line, and it comes with a heavy cost as all of their credits now gone. Gen G looking for that 7th favorite to take it across the line, and Texture, he might be picked off early in the previous, but you ain't getting away with that 2 times in a row.
I was about to say, he only has 2 deaths. So realistically, they've not got away with that much whatsoever. And I think that was Itchy the first time they've caught him since he's had the operator. So
what the fuck is going on?
It's not looking great. Oh, he's not going to fall for that one. This isn't a Durka fake. Come on, Fnatic. Grind to a halt.
I don't know, they're doing a test. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
I think that's a bit wide.
We're gonna stay here.
He gets away with it, that's the main thing.
Didn't quite expect him to be pushed up into that corner, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe going for a slightly deeper jump into mid, but it's a bit of a gamble. Again, 40 seconds on the clock. No real ground garnered for Fnatic. They will at least move the crosshair of one. Well, Foxy9, I think he's decided, you know what, I've had this ult for a while. I've been holding on to it. Let's just stick that one out, try and buy them and buy myself a little bit of extra time. Push coming in to his left. He's still going to survive.
Foxy's anchoring like a beast. 2v3. Winnable.
But it is a plant, and it is guns picked up for Fnatic. One of the better opportunities they've had. It's still not going to be easy, though.
Yeah, I mean, he bought a lot of time there, Foxy9, and with Texture coming back in, op in hand, you don't expect to see many shots missed. Great
what a
paranoia.
flash.
That gives Texture an easy kill. The dash
what a flash from
as Karen takes Chronicle out of the round. It is a clean retake for Gen.G. Foxy9 does this work to pick up the double entry, and from that point, you weren't really doubting them, but once the paranoia hits, it seemed like a certainty. 7 on the board for Gen.G. Fnatic will have a buy in the next, but this attack side favor that you talked about, Tom, it's certainly not there for Fnatic so far.
No, like they're definitely comfortable on either side of the map, but the problem is right now is a lot of the time we talk about this team's ability to win rounds that they never should really win, that big clutch factor. And I'll be honest, from Fnatic, it hasn't been there so far. Like, you look at this round, you go, okay, 2v3, they have a chance. Paranoia goes through.
They're doing good.
Catches both
7-2.
People immediately.
Full buy for Fnatic.
And that's the round, like,
so
normally you'd at least expect a spark, but Gen.G have extinguished that immediately. They have made sure the sprinklers are going off the second there's any smoke.
Oh, good jump spot.
Texture has been spotted.
He's going
that
more?
Doesn't mean he's going to stop, though.
No, but it does mean the Fnatic are going to address that. The Texture's pushing mid. Get the hell out of there. Retreat and fall back towards this A main push. Now, typically, Foxy9's been on the B side. That's where the Killjoy setup is. Now they're funneling themselves in to Foxy9, to Munchkin, who are ready and waiting for this push to come through. Hunter's Fury perhaps could help them out in clearing some angles, but they have got one hell of a challenge on their hands.
Oh, he peeked too fast.
Flash and peek. Now the pressure on Foxy9.
Yeah, the rest of the team are incredibly far away, only just looking to make their move through. And this time he has ended up shooting the
Foxy.
But again, he gets Kayak, and there still hasn't been a trade yet, down to just 5 HP and eventually caught out. Boaster, the trade that was necessary. Again, a solid position from Fnatic to fight from. Shock darts going through to at least slow them down a little bit. And you can tell they're expecting a second one to be coming in. It's a round that should be going in.
What?
What? He expected to jump up. He predicted where Alfia is going to be. And now, well, Texture looking around the corner, wrapping in as quickly as possible. They haven't really needed him to go crazy in rounds, but this retake is looking all too easy. Only man standing. And what? Crashy's got to go. They're already defusing. He's not in the right spot.
Nice
and
try.
even though he gets two at the end, it is meaningless.
Texture's kill on Alfia was huge.
That shot through the smoke.
So tragic,
I don't know what the cue was. I don't know if he heard
that is so tragic.
As he moved towards the box, counted to 2 and fired away, but that game sense is insane. He knows he's on the angle. Smoke blooms.
Wow.
Like, what was the cue? What was the cue?
He's just predicting the jump up, but
to just completely dive in. That's unbelievable.
Maybe he was thinking, what would I do?
Yeah. I'd probably jump up about now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's outrageous. And for Fnatic, you've got to just feel like you're being hammered into the dirt now. 8-2. Gen.G expected to be solid on the attack side. And there is no space for Fnatic to play with. Texture with an opening. Karen following up with another. And the round barely started, and it looks like it's over. Munchkin with a chance to use that judge.
No way brother has a
he's
judge.
Only picked up the one. That's at least a spark of life for Fnatic. They may be able to get this spike down.
Oh, it's a bait from Kayak. He's hoping for a kill, wanted to try and make a play. Instead, he has sent them back down to a 1 versus 3 crash. He's trying to catch them while in the drone, but he doesn't know there's two waiting for him on the other side. And that's the thing. Every moment, though, we have that sort of core EMEA Fnatic belief. This is the round we'll see a crazy clutch. They just get bodied. Like, that wasn't even close. That 2v3 wasn't close. That was just comfortable, easy stuff. for the opposing side. Even the last round, there was a 3v4 retake. It didn't look like they were pressed at all. I don't know. It may be just Gen G are the bogey team for Fnatic, but right now they are looking like a different caliber of squad.
Well, it's that shot there as well from Texture. It's really feeling like in a lot of these moments that they have the perfect read. Like often when that push comes through,
the casual smirk.
Crashies is going to catch someone off guard there. Someone at the door's closing, they either push forward to break it or they're starting to go window to get that heaven push underway. And instead, Texture just sat there holding it with the off. He expects the push and punishes it almost every time.
Where is he going?
One last round to play with, and they're being pushed on. Straight down through mid. Caron's finding one. The door already being broken. And the ult popped through. The Hunter's Fury. I mean, this is just...
He's got to be dead.
You got him.
This is full investment from Fnatic, and they'll at least manage to level the playing field.
Spike planted.
Oh, just in case.
I thought it was real for a second. Oh.
Not taking a risk. Smoke's faded, and there's nobody watching the angle. What was an even scenario, at least in personnel, has quickly diminished. Again, trying to pressure onto the drone, but there are always players waiting and watching Fnatic. They're playing for curses at this point, hoping to at least get themselves a third, but that is not looking likely. The retakes of Gen G have been an unstoppable force. Kayak still fighting his best and giving Crutchies a chance for the traders immediate. Down to just one man standing, both of them
cutting through.
Desperately low on HP and almost just playing onto that time. Kayak knows that he will have it in the end.
9-3 curse?
It took a lot for them to finally grind out a third round, but eventually the hero this time.
Why your ultimate looks so real? That's what I said.
Perhaps the curse to bring him across the line. We'll find. 4 seats and a
has been so far. Talked about the consistency over at Masters Toronto and what he was able to do, but we haven't seen it just yet. That's a nice start though. The lifeline of the pistol necessary.
Kayak, nice shot.
Kayak gets the first kill.
Down to a 5v4. This pistol's so valuable for Fnatic if they can find
Big
it.
Kayak.
And Crashies. Chronicles there too. The whole team stepping up to bring the pistol into Fnatic's favor. That's 2 for 2 now on this map, but they are still trailing by quite a lot.
Yeah, it is definitely a long road back into it. Of course, this, again, is one of those compositions that I think facing into a defensive side will be quite unorthodox. You've got those Vice setups, which are always difficult to get through in a pacey manner, and then you're going to have that aggression out from Althea. My only worry, though, is the fact that he's just not been on the board just yet. Like, it has been a very, very quiet game from Althea. Whatever
Alpha's warming up.
You're talking about, like a 3 and 11 is not something you'd normally see.
5 light armors on Fnatic.
Right, all right then. We're just spamming smokes and getting 2 kills, are we, Crashies? It's a little bit of a different ball game, and then he throws out the dart, you know, because he didn't need it before. Just gets the timing. At least padding those stats a little bit. Realistically, I was going to say they want to try and keep things clean, but he has gone down.
There.
Yeah, 1 loss, not too major. Little execution from Chronicle. This one's looking like it will be a relatively clean
Munchkin, where are you going?
The steps heard as Munchkin's running about in spawn.
Oh my god, he almost got him.
Although he catches Chronicle off, the classic shots don't land. 9-5, 4 players alive. Fnatic, well, this is exactly how that previous half started, but then it was 9 straight rounds for Gen G, something that's not possible here because the game would end before that.
Yeah, I think it's always going to be very difficult. Like, you can take a lot from how we saw the retakes played in the last half. Like, the setup from Gen G was fantastic. Like, they're so good at putting Texture into positions where, well, and Caron, if I'm being honest, like the amount he was teleporting into angles and just taking aggressive fights. Now you put them onto the attack side, well, they can do that from the get-go. And immediately, we're going to see that operator pull up into Althea. The belief definitely still there that he can take over, he can dominate this map. And you can see from the positions on the map that maybe a little bit tentative to fight into middle from Gen G, knowing that there could be some danger in that part of the map.
Well, the danger's coming to them. Not just in this B main push, but Alpha's now stepped through mid to the short push as well. Foxy9 locking it down on one side. And it looks like they'll look for space in mid, but not without that drone going through. That's a key part of this play. It actually hasn't spotted Alpha. It only saw the player up on short, but that's enough for Gen.G to decide to wrap all the way around through spawn. In the meantime, the A push comes in, and well, it could be a mistake.
Oh my god. How did Chronicle die?
Stop short of taking down Texture, and so a 4v2, presumably post-plant, will be underway. Oh, it's kind of 3v2.
That's a bit of a nasty surprise for Ash. And with both players still holding
only
on to
two guys on site. KJ doesn't spawn.
It's not out of the realms of possibilities.
What a lurk.
Also, if they want to gamble these two guns.
What a crazy lurk.
Obviously for Alfie, he was hoping maybe he could get a few picks and maybe play towards that tour de force, but he is not even remotely close to it. So
this seems too hard.
A loss here would mean maybe not having a rifle at all in the next round, but definitely not having the operator. And already that late positioning from Foxy9 has completely caught him off. It leaves Kayak alone versus 3, still going for it. A nice shot onto the first. I think a lot of this may come down to either trying to save the operator or at least pick off the remaining members of Gen.G as they exit, while Foxy9's read is just sublime. The man is having a great day of Valorant.
Well, I think fairly easy for him there. The flash goes out, nobody's peeking, no noise made. What was the point? And of course, he correctly deduces that it was all a ruse. Great round from him, a great map indeed from him as well. And Garon, it was a bold play to go up on top of that wall, but he was supporting Texture. Together they cleared
weird that if I had to evacuate right now, I'd grab my wallet, keys, and my
as well. And a decent blow to the Fnatic economy with that.